Okay, Google, turn on my PC.
You got it. Turning the PC on.
Hey, I'm Brian, and this is the tour of my clean yet cheap desk setup for 2017. Let's start with the centerpiece, the monitors. These are ASUS VS239 monitors. They're 1080p, 23-inch, and IPS. They were reasonably cheap at the time, but I still quite like them for the price. Though an ultra-wide monitor would definitely be something I would like to have. Unfortunately, the cheap price of the monitors also means pretty crappy stands. But fortunately, a €60 monitor stand from La Volta that I got on Amazon fixes that problem. It fits up to two 27-inch monitors, so it's just fine for these two 23-inch ones. The stand in the middle also gives you the floating impression with the two monitors on both sides. It even comes with cable management, so you can hide all of the cables behind the monitors and behind the stand. On the desk in front of the monitors, we have the peripherals. The keyboard is a Razer Black Widow. It's one of the first generations that still have genuine Cherry MX switches. And these keyboards can actually now be had very cheap because they're reasonably old. You can pick one up for around €50. But unfortunately, the keyboard is wired, which is not the best for the cleanliness of the setup. And it also doesn't have any backlighting, though I really prefer that, as I'm not a big fan of RGB lighting everywhere. Next to the keyboard, you find the mouse. This is just a very cheap mouse by Logitech, though it tracks reasonably well even without a mouse pad that I chose to not include because it makes the whole setup look less cluttered, and it works for the very cheap €20 price tag. On the desk, we also find the things related to audio. This is a pair of JBL Everest 300 headphones. They're Bluetooth and they sound really nice. So they're not only a great addition to your desk setup, but also work great on the go. As you probably noticed, I don't have any speakers on this desk. That's because I exclusively use headphones. I'm not alone in this household, so having headphones is definitely a nice thing, and it's also better for monitoring audio when editing. And not having to buy speakers is just another thing you can save on. Now, there are of course also some smaller decorative items on the desk. In the back corner, there's a OnePlus VR headset. It's one of the ones that were very limited at the OnePlus 3 launch. And in there is some limited edition DJI candy that I got at the DJI booth at a tech convention. In the shelves above the monitors, there's of course the obligatory fake IKEA plant that has to be included in any desk setup, and a waving cat for some motion action, and some audio gear, including my video microphone. There's also a Space Invaders cartridge up here. Now that we're already talking about the items on the desk and in these shelves, why not talk about the furniture itself? These are IKEA shelves and also an IKEA desk. I like the minimalist style of the IKEA furniture, and it's really, really cheap. Though the problem is that over time, the paint sometimes gets scuffs with IKEA products, so I have to put stuff on the desk and on the shelves to cover that up. Now, next to the desk, I also have an IKEA shelf that blends in seamlessly, so it looks like the desk extends to the side. I used this space for a nice wooden desk lamp by Tomins that you probably know out of Jonathan Morrison's videos. And it has a Philips Hue bulb in it that can be set to any color I desire. Next to the lamp is my computer. This is really nothing to write home about. The components are really not that new anymore, and I definitely need to upgrade to something better in the future. You can see the specs on the screen right now. Yeah, feel with me. But at least the case that I built this computer in still looks very classy. It's very minimalistic without any gaming-inspired lights, because gaming is something that this setup isn't themed around anyway. Now, to go along with the pretty clean and minimalistic style of the whole setup, I of course had to put special attention into the cable management. I can definitely recommend you to get a roll of Velcro like I did to tie up all the cables, as it makes the whole setup come together way better. You can see that in most of the shops you don't even see any cables anywhere, maybe except for the USB hub that I taped to the top of the desk. So I have good access to USB ports, as the ones on the back of the computer are not that easy to access. Now, and all of those cables of course come together in one smart wall plug. Yes, what I did at the beginning was not a fake. You can actually turn this whole setup on with just talking to the Google Assistant. And I know there's a tutorial at the info eye. Now this basically wraps up this setup tour. I hope you enjoyed some of the nice B-roll footage. In case you want to get any of the items that I've featured in this video for yourself, you can find links to them or better alternatives in the video description. You know which buttons to press. You should also press that follow button on Twitter. I'm Brian, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.